Attention pro athletes. Want to secure your financial legacy and thrive off the field? Oakbridge Wealth Management, led by wealth manager Chris Anicetti, is your dedicated financial planning ally. But don't take it from me. Take it from the Dallas Cowboys' Tyler Biadasz. He says, Chris set goals financially and has been incredibly impactful in my journey in the NFL. Experience our customized, comprehensive approach, trusted by top NFL players. Don't leave your financial success to chance. Connect with Chris on Instagram at OakbridgeWM_Anicetti. That's OakbridgeWM_ANICETE, and let Oakbridge Wealth Management guide you across the goal line.
First sheet again, big opening, pass 5, pass 10, Perko to man, and he goes all the way to the 15-yard line. 17 yards out the territory.
Welcome back to the Believe in Badgers podcast on the Believe Network, presented by betonline.ag and our friends over at Oakbridge Wealth Management. Once again, I'm Matt Perkins, joined, as always, by Badger legend, the Hebrew Hammer himself, Matt Bernstein. Bernie, how are we doing today?
We're champs, baby. We're winners. I mean, we're not champs, but we're winners.
We're winners.
And I'm pretty happy about that.
I'm also glad that we won. We're going to talk about that here on Monday Morning Fullback. 20 minutes of our rapid reaction to the game. This is about the most rapid we've ever been, Bernie.
Yep.
We are recording this at 2:40 Central Time here on Saturday, right after the game. Before we get into what we're going to talk about, though, got to remind everyone watching, listening, however you're consuming this episode and all of our content, that we are presented by betonline.ag, where they continue to be your number one source for all of your online sports wagering needs. You name it, they've got it over there at BetOnline. Head on over to the website, use your mobile device, and sign up today. Receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit with our promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV. BetOnline, where the game starts. All right, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's do it on a Monday morning fullback. Bernie, let's start with the good. They won. And the offense came alive in the second half.
Okay, so that's good. We spread the ball around. We had some guys make some serious plays. Hayden Rucci at the end, I thought that solidified it. Mm-hmm. You know, Braylon came in, had that huge run, and then it ended it. I literally cannot stand that we've played 3 games. I mean, this could be the ugly, but I don't want to jump there. I guess I am. To say that, like, we start so slow.
So slow.
Like, and to go 1-6 on third downs, like, you're not giving. First off, this isn't even Big Ten play, so like
it's
do that
Sun Belt play,
it's not helpful for our team, right? And I think what's harder for me is to watch like the third downs. We have no fullback, no tight ends, no double 2 tight ends, no 22 personnel. You're not really watching like crack helmets to get 2 yards. What do they say? 2 yards in a cloud of dust.
3 yards in a cloud of dust.
We're watching throwing. We're watching passing. So I would say that here's the good. I actually thought the offense didn't look bad. We had 450 yards. Mm-hmm. We could have done better, obviously. Yeah. The first half was a nightmare, but we didn't stop. The pressure was on us. We were even down, and we kept playing. And Tanner Mordecai seemed the most comfortable I've ever seen him look in a game in as a Badger. It's only 3, but
not only that. I mean, he was starting to see him in the run game. We saw quarterback power at one point with Braylon as the lead blocker. We saw him scramble. He ran for 2 touchdowns. All 5 of the Badgers touchdowns were on the ground. He was efficient in the air, 8 yards per attempt. That's, I think, the best yards per attempt we've seen out of him so far. To me, that's the real key number. I haven't looked and seen what the air yards per attempt were yet. I think it's a little bit better, but the team overall made so many errors, so many mental errors, and the penalties have been killer. 3 penalties, Bernie, for illegal formation in like the first 2.2 quarters, right? And that's inexcusable.
You see like 1, I don't even know if we had 3 in 5 years of me being on the team. I don't even know if we had 1. It's hard.
I'm sure you did like at 1 or 2 points, but like not 3 in one game. That's for darn sure.
Right. So we're staying on the good, or we're getting off the good?
No, we're just going. Like it's, I honestly.
Let's wait. Hold on. We got to give props. Granted, I think some of the balls were like a lollipop up there, but we had 6 turnovers. We had
6
0
turnovers
coming in. So we had 6. So I'm going to give the defense. Listen, the defense, Georgia Southern did a lot of things that they really wanted to do. They were able to pick apart.
Outgained Wisconsin.
I think a lot of it, I think a lot of it's scheme. You're asking 3 down linemen to do a lot, and then you're blitzing 1, still 4 guys. Usually you play with 4 down linemen. So I think the scheme, we're still trying to learn the scheme, but we had 6 turnovers. Yeah. Our defense kept us in the game. They fought the entire game. Hunter Wohler was all over the field. John Meta, like these dudes were everywhere.
Hunter Wohler is insane.
He's insane, but you're asking
10 tackles and 2 picks. Like,
it's great. It's great.
Fantastic. And a sack. I mean, but
you're asking 3 or 4 guys to do a lot of work up front. And I don't know if that is their specialty, right? Those guys were last year run stoppers, like holding guys. They weren't attacking the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And Georgia Southern's offense is way different than I think we'll see a lot. It's all shotgun. It's just like ours. So, who knows? But I think the defensive scheme, we're going to have to blitz more guys. We're going to have to play tighter on coverage. I'm excited to hear what Soldier and Shelton has to say because we were giving them a little bit of buffers when we were blitzing. They had a lot of time to pick apart the zones. But
yeah, I mean,
we had 6 turnovers. So I'm going to say that was good.
That was good. I mean, Davis Brin, like 6th-year quarterback, he's played a crap ton of college football. He's seen a lot of football, and 6 turnovers on him is great. But he also, picked apart the Badgers defense at times, and he played better than a 5 interception effort, I thought, for the most part in the game. But it was.
I mean, he had 383 yards, 33 completions for 52 attempts.
Yeah.
Tanner Mordecai had 19 for 30. My thing with the defense, if we go into I guess the bad, it's not the ugly, it's the bad. Is that they got to get off the field just as much as the offense has to stay on. I think it's a dual. Like, if you want to put, I don't want to say blame, but like any type of onus, they have to get off because they were giving up 3rd down in like 8s. Some big plays.
There was,
and we weren't staying on the field.
They converted. We had them in 2nd and 20 at one point in the 3rd quarter. They made it. They got back and made that, like, they got it to 3rd and 6, I think, or 3rd and 4, and then converted that. They were 9 for 17 on. They were better than 50% on 3rd down conversions, and
we weren't.
And Wisconsin wasn't. They were 3.
So,
they finished 3 for 11. That was after starting like 1 for 8.
Dude, they had 50 plays in the first half. We had 33. Like that's not good. And we only had 7 points.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 7-7 in the?
It was 7-7 at halftime.
So imagine that you only have 33 plays and you only scored 7 points and it's tied up. And they have 50. What I think is bad is that the momentum and the like excitedness to be playing football looked like it was had mostly by Jordan. I think some of our guys were very happy to be there but it seemed like Georgia Southern might have been just having more fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not saying we weren't. It looks like we were going about our business, but I remember being on the field and literally having so much fun when things were going right. And when things were going wrong, like you could see people were upset and, not like they were, I don't know, not letting it happen, like, or trying to turn it around or trying to pick your players up or trying to do whatever. And I don't know. It's just a different feel. I'm not saying it's good or bad. It's just different.
I think that one of the other things on the stat sheet that's going to be really misleading if people who didn't watch the game just look at the final box score and say, oh, Wisconsin 6 sacks. That's good. The 6 sacks were
they sacked the backup guy.
They sacked the backup guy. And on top of that, they also they were getting sacks later in the game when Georgia Southern was chasing, right? Once Georgia Southern got down, they were really paying their earbacks. But they were mostly coverage sacks. Like, I think there was only one time when the Badgers pass rusher really truly beat their blocker off the snap, and that was CJ Getz single against a tight end, which he better win.
Cheney had one too.
Cheney had one on a blitz. Cheney had one on a blitz that opened up. So that was a schemed up one. But I'm just talking like pass rusher beats their blocker. Didn't really happen. I thought Peterson came alive a little bit there in the second half. And I before the season said I think Peterson was going to be the impact pass rusher on the team. And I think it's actually in a lot of ways Jake Chaney up the middle in his, doing his best Chris Orr impression, like I've been saying for a long, long time.
But this is the 3-3.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Where does Richardson go? He has to be a blitzer, right? Or else he's not at the end.
Peterson?
Yeah, he's not at the end. I mean, he's not like a true 3-3 guy.
No, but like
he's
an outside linebacker. He's playing the same position. I mean, it's not the exact same position, but it's a very similar role to what we saw Nick Herbig do for the last 3 years.
Yes, but Nick Herbig was an outside linebacker.
Yeah.
Yes, they're just a little bit. They're
being asked to do very different things.
They're being asked to do different things.
Yeah, and
I just think that you don't have traditional. CJ Getz is a traditional pass rusher. However, he could be going against two guys. Well, he's supposedly one of the better guys on the D line to pass rush.
Yeah, I mean, he's still an outside linebacker at the end of the day. Like he's still an outside linebacker who's
okay.
I don't so
he puts his hand down. So I think he's
occasionally. It's usually Pietrowski who's got his hand down, who's been playing more of like almost like a defensive end, the Michigan State transfer number 44 that I've seen more sort of with his hand down than like Getz does occasionally. He was when he got his sack, but Getz seems to be more of a run stopping. I know that Coach Fick has said that he likes Getz as a pass rusher before. I think he said that earlier in the press conference this week, but I am still a little bit, underwhelmed with the pass rush, despite that 6 sack number, which like I said, I think is misleading.
They have 3. I turned it off with 4 minutes to go. It was 35-14, but we had 3 sacks just then. So like, listen, yes, I think some of these things will be misleading. The 6 turnovers happened against their ones. I mean, that was true.
That's true.
And listen, in the first game, Tanner threw 2 bad picks. Bryn threw 4 bad picks. I mean, they were really bad. But you know what? We're in the right place. Those were the plays. A few of them, I would say most of those, maybe 3 out of 4, we had pressure. Like we were hitting it.
Yep.
People were coming free. So I'm interested to see what the scheme continues to be and build on top of, it looked like we did a couple things here and there. And it looks, I have to believe that there's going to be a lot more going into Big Ten play. Like we can't come out the way we did and play the way we did and win Big Ten games.
No, they're far too soft on both lines for that to happen.
Well, yes, I just think we have to start faster. Like you got to get up and go. You can't go 3 and out in the first drive. Like you got to go.
They were 5 and out on 5. They're 3 and out in 5 of their first 8 drives. Like that to me, it's really damning statistic from that.
It is not good, especially when you're at home and you have a Georgia Southern team who, again, it's their Super Bowl, and they came out with all the momentum. They didn't flinch for 1 second. I mean, you can't let that happen. And I've been part of these games. I've also been a part of these games so I feel what they're feeling. Like we went Bowling Green come in. It was like 24-3, maybe 24-0 in like the second quarter. Like that's bad. But you do have to understand that people were livid, not just the coaches. The coaches are going to MF you no matter what. And I'm trying to be calm for Carrie. MF you if you don't understand what that, just side text us will tell you. You can figure it out. But you're getting MF'd up, down, left, and right when that's happening, right? Like no one's sitting there going like, "Oh, don't worry, we're going to come back." No, it's like, get up and let's. And everyone's doing it too. Everyone's like, "Yo, we're sitting around like, what are we doing?" So you have people who are leaders on the team getting people going. Donovan Raiola's not just sitting there like, "Hey guys, don't worry, pat you on the back." Like, "Yeah, we're gonna get it." He's like, "Yo, you got it." He's like, "I'm gonna bring it, and you better come with me."
Yeah.
And we were talking with Klink, who we're gonna have on next week. These dudes. We were saying even the weakest guy on the O line, you got the most evil out of him, right? Even if it's a little, even if it's 0.1%, and because he's the nicest human, you got that 0.1% because you had Klink and Benning and Joe Thomas and Donovan who were not letting one person bring them, even keep us down, and they didn't. That's what was so special. It's like they forced you to do well. They forced everyone to do well. And I think, and I said this before, I want the O-line to play like that.
I know.
Go out there, have fun, play with a chip on your shoulder. Like, you're a 300-pound dude who plays at Wisconsin, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Go out there and just maul people.
Attention athletes. Do you want a frictionless and tailored financial planning experience to secure your future? Well, look no further. Introducing Oakbridge Wealth Management, the premier financial planning firm for professional athletes. Led by wealth manager Chris Anicetti, our team provides a unique and comprehensive approach, ensuring your financial success both on and off the field. We understand the unique challenges you face as a professional athlete, from managing cash flow habits to planning major business purchases and navigating complex contracts. That's why we've developed a proven process, working closely with our strategic partners to provide seamless solutions for your unique financial journey. Our services evolve with your career, offering short, mid, and long-term goal setting, portfolio optimization, real estate investments, and more. As you transition to life beyond the field, we support you with career development and philanthropic ventures. But don't just take our word for it. Top NFL players like Chase Boulier, Tyler Biadasz, Alec Ingold, and more trust Oakbridge Wealth Management to guide them towards financial success. Troy Dye of the Minnesota Vikings says, "I really love the work that Chris and the rest of the Oakbridge group do. I especially like the honesty and transparency when it comes to setting up financial goals and plans that best fit my needs and situation. It's time to elevate your financial game plan. Connect with Chris on Instagram at OakbridgeWM_Anicetti. That's OakbridgeWM_ANICETE. And join the winning team." I think that is one of the big growing pains in this scheme, because inherently when you're in shotgun, you can't, I guess, like, yes, the alignment should be able to fire off the line in the same way, but it just doesn't quite.
It's definitely not the same offense as like an I formation.
No, and I think, and I guess that is part of my real question moving forward, is that the way that they're using Braylon, like using him on these little flare passes for 3 yards, they're like, oh, we want to get him into space, but he doesn't have any downhill momentum. He takes a second to get that big old body up to full speed. And if I want to get a jitter, I want Will Pauling in space, right? Because he's going to cut on a dime and make a guy miss. I want Braylon going downhill. Like, I want Braylon Allen and his 245 damn pounds running downhill and making a safety have to like scream for his life. Once he's stopped, once he catches the ball and has to try to juke, he doesn't have that same momentum. He's easier to tackle. Like, I don't know. I want to see them use the pistol more. I want to see them, and that's to me always been sort of like the best of both worlds, right? Where you still get the tailback lined up behind the quarterback. He can come downhill as he's taking a handoff, and it's not like a weird mesh kind of thing. It's that takes longer to develop. Again, my opinion, right? I'm not Phil Longo. I don't expect to be Phil Longo. Phil Longo has more knowledge about offensive football in the nail on his pinky than I do. That being said, I still feel like they're not using Braylon to the best of his skill set.
Well, I don't hate that he catches balls in space.
He
doesn't need to do it a lot. He doesn't need to have 5 catches in
He doesn't need to be the Big Ten's leader in receptions.
Right. He can be, and look at him today. Like, he came in, he sparked us. Mm-hmm. He was breaking tackles. He broke a bunch of things.
Once he started running downhill in the second half.
Right. And he was great. And he broke that long one, and then he finished. And that was when we went above. I think we went up on that.
Yes.
And if you have Braylon Allen, who's the face of our team, doing that, you got confidence, you got momentum. People are getting pumped. You can see it. And I love that about it. And listen, if Ches did it in the first game, he did it in the second game, and say Braylon did it in both games too. But these guys uplift each other, and I love that about them. But if Ches has 3 catches and Braylon has 1 or 2, I'm good with that. I agree. I loved all the new pulling plays. I love the motion with Ashcroft to kick out somebody, and I love Braylon. I think that's his bread and butter.
It is.
His bread and butter is, and I think he likes a fullback. That's what I think he's like more normal to, like pulling powers, inside stuff. But I agree. I like the pistol for him, but I like everything for him. And if he's not doing it, I like that Ches can do it. And today it just felt he had 15 carries. 12 carries, 15 carries.
Ches?
No, Braylon.
Today, Braylon had 12. Ches had 15.
So 12 touches to me is not enough. But they didn't have a lot of plays. And you know what? I'll take 33 out of 50 and we had some drops too. So I'll take 33 out of 50 from Tanner. It seems like, listen, we're also giving the brain of we've watched 50 run plays and 20.
Well, yeah, we've had 30 years of watching 50 run plays.
Yes. I have to consistently keep telling myself, like, we're watching a shift and we have to be patient with this shift. Now let's just jump into the ugly because I hear my daughter waking up. So that I would say the ugly is we started too slow. We let Georgia Southern hang around with us, and they didn't. They were there to play once we let them kind of hang around. And the penalties, we need to be clean. So those are my negatives.
The ball out of bounds for the second time in 3 games on a kickoff. That's unacceptable. Like you have one job. That is the.
So Coach Huber would literally rip the kickers, like kill them,
like tear them limb from limb
if they did anything wrong.
Yeah,
and 2 in 3 games is really not great. I mean, it's frustrating because you're running out on the defense. They're on the 40-yard line.
Yeah,
I mean, you gave them 15 yards if anything. There were some holdings on the line. Dude, just let them go. Just let them go. Like. A 2-yard play is better than a minus 15-yard play.
Yeah.
And that, to me, those are like the worst ones. We had a face mask. We had some other things. These things are going to happen in a game. Like your hand gets wrapped up at the top. It just is there. It sucks, but it's there. But we got to do way better. I think we can. I'm interested to see what happens. First game of the Big Ten. Do we have a game next week?
Yeah. What do we have a game next week? That's a good question for me. Yes, we're at Purdue next week.
Oh, that's right. Because
we're at Purdue on a Friday night.
I love that.
I kind of like that.
I'm so excited. I thought that was in 2 weeks, but I'm all messed up. The Jewish holidays, happy Rosh Hashanah, by the way.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Shout out to everyone, but it's jammed my whole brain up.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
But listen, that's I don't know what. You got to get Brady Collins in every meeting to just scream at people. I don't know what to do. I don't know how coaches coach now in this like day and age of like, you got to be real. You got to be like, the kids are just different. I don't know how else to say it. We could take a lashing, a verbal lashing.
You didn't have a choice. Different. You didn't have a choice.
We also didn't have a choice. There was no social media. Nobody cared. Who are you going to go tell somebody? Like no one cared. You didn't have a cell phone to call your mom. I mean, you did.
Go to the payphone, man. 1-800-CALL ATT.
You know what? My 3 minutes didn't start until 8:00 at night, so I couldn't call my mom. She was sleeping at 9:00 on the East Coast, so that wouldn't have worked. No, but there just needs to be some fire. I don't know how to get that going, but that to me is the biggest negative. We're going at Purdue at home at their place. 7 p.m. Your prime time, and if you don't start fast. Purdue is going to
throw it all over the yard. They throw, and then they throw.
And they're not, and they want to win the Big Ten too.
Yeah, they're the reigning Big Ten West champions.
They're not just going to sit down,
which is weird because they weren't good, but
they weren't terrible. It's going to be a fist fight, and you have to be prepared to get hit in the face. Play 1, not play 30 or play 40 or the second half. I'm happy we're a second half team, but we have to be a first play team also.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's where I'm going. Listen, I'm still have the glass half full. I'm still excited about this team. I think we have playmakers. I like almost everything about what we're doing. And listen, it's still a culture shock and a change.
It is.
We have to, we're game 3 of a whole new regime. We have to let and give them an opportunity to show what they can do. Like, that's it.
All right. Well, I think that's going to be it then for us here today. We're back later this week with Jonathan Clinkscale, Sojourn Shelton, and who else knows? Maybe we'll throw another one in just for the thrill of it. Why not? So we like I said, we'll be back later this week here on Believe in Badgers on the Believe Network, presented by BetOnline.ag and our friends over at Oakbridge Wealth Management. So until next time, thanks for tuning in, and on Wisconsin.
Winners, baby, on
Winners.
Wisconsin.
1-0 for the week.
1-0.